So the question is, what's the answer? Well, some people will tell you there is no answer. That leadership today is so complex that we can't even figure out how to lead well. It's become too complicated. Well, we know that's not true. We know that just because we don't know what the solution is doesn't mean that there isn't a solution. And so what we're looking for is something that pulls together all these bits of, all these different facets of leadership, so that when we hear about systems thinking or situational leadership or emotional intelligence or whatever it is, and I counted up not long ago how many different disciplines there are around leadership, and there are at least 50 of them. If we have something that can pull us together and help us make sense of what we need, then we've got a solution. What we need is a framework, a leadership framework. Now, that may not sound to you like much of a solution, but let me tell you, it really is. Don't be fooled. It really is a very powerful solution. Now, why do we call it a framework? Well, a framework is a construction term. And then actually, it's a crucial piece of any building. In fact, if you look at this building would be absolutely impossible without this. It's the framework that allows that building to stand. And when a building collapses, it collapses because the framework collapses. Now, a framework not only holds it up, it does a couple of other things. A framework allows for versatility. Now, you look at that frame for that building, that could be a hospital, that could be an office building, it could be a hotel, it could be a college dorm, it could be all kinds of things. A good framework is very versatile, and that is true in leadership. A leadership framework will allow you to apply that leadership to multiple different contexts. And then also, a framework allows you to go high. It allows you to build up high. In fact, all of the hundreds and thousands of skyscrapers that are being built are all built based on this principle, that there's a framework that builds it up. So a good leadership framework will allow you to go high, whether it's in your career or whether it's your organization. So the question then is, well, what is this framework? Well, if you look at this framework here, you'll notice that it's really just got two very simple components. It's got horizontal bars, and it's got beams, and it's got vertical beams. And that's really all it is. And those beams are tightly locked together. They're welded together. And that's the same for leadership. You know, Einstein once said, if everything should be as simple as possible and no simpler. And if we boil leadership down to its absolute essence, we come up with two things. We come up with competence and character. Now, which one would you say is more important? How many of you would say that character is more important? Raise your hand. How many of you would say character is more important? How many of you would say that competence is more important? And how many of you, and you can change your vote on this one, how many of you would say that they're both equally important? And if you do, then I'd agree with you. They are both equally important. It's like the two wings of an aircraft. You can't fly a plane with only one wing. You've got to have both. So it is character and competence that actually gives you great leadership.